What's up, everybody? This is Pain User.
Yeah, and this is HD.
And we have game 2 for you guys between aTnDarKFoRcE and Complexity's RSVP. RSVP is spawning as our blue Protoss in the bottom right-hand position of the map. And we have aTnDarKFoRcE spawning as our red Zerg in the top left-hand corner of the map. First game going to DarkFoRcE with a really aggressive 3-base push onto RSVP's third. And DarkFoRcE was actually able to deny that and do quite a bit of damage there, ultimately winning the game, picking off all the Colossus, and then just continuing with wave after wave of roaches and finishing out the game. So game 2, going to be a little bit more of a macro game with diagonal cross spawn on Shakuras Plateau, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you there, Pain User. Now, RSVP did favor a Nexus opening on Xel'Naga Caverns, which, you know, really risky. I'm curious to see if he's going to do the same thing on this map. I would assume so, as he's already placed his pylon down at the natural, and this is really the map to do it on. It's a great map to Nexus, to Forge, expand, and then go into a Nexus, or if you really want to be ballsy, as he's done in game 1, go for the Nexus first. On top of that, you can also kind of be tricky and throw down double gateways and start the game off with some early Zealot pressure. I don't think he's going to do that because he hasn't thrown down any gateways as of yet, and for now it looks like he's just doing scouting in DarkFoRcE, and DarkFoRcE has opened up with gas and pool first, so DarkFoRcE once again has the opportunity to be aggressive with early Zerglings, but on this map it is far more difficult than it is on Xel'Naga Caverns to abuse the Protoss player simply because of how the map is designed.
And just now sending out his probe, so he's going to be a little bit late on that natural expansion, dropping it right now. So he is going for Nexus first again, and I agree with that on this map, although it's just such a risky maneuver. To be honest, I don't know if it even outweighs the extra, you know, boost to your economy that you're going to get from getting that natural Nexus that much faster. I mean, yes, you're going to have the double chrono, you can double pump probes, but I feel like getting a Forge first is only 150, and it makes you safe to any kind of, you know, super early Ling opening, an 8 pool or a 9 pool or anything like that. It just gives you so many more options. Not to mention you can do some kind of cannon cheese at your opponent's base should he 15 hatch or 14 hatch or something like that. So you have the option for offensive maneuvers, you have the option for defensive maneuvers, and you're going to be safe to anything else. So I don't think it's, you know, what would you rather do, win the game? Or, I mean, what would you rather do, build an earlier Nexus or just lose the game? I mean...
Yeah, you make a great point there, because when you throw down the Forge first, like you said, you have the option of being offensive. Now, DarkFoRcE here, if he's smart, he's going to try to block this off, but no, he actually loses control of his drone a little bit.
The Lings are coming in right now.
Yeah. He could have definitely blocked the gateway from going down, and those Zerglings would have been able to run in. And I don't know if the Zerglings can hit the photon cannon, but as it stands,
I guess not.
RSVP is able to hold the front door, and the Zerglings have to run away.
I would have thought the Zerglings might have been able to fit into that slot right there between the pylon and the gateway, but I guess it's actually a solid wall.
Yeah, really interesting.
A little bit deceiving to the eyes right there. I didn't think he had a full wall at all, actually, but he's definitely going to be able to hold that off. And DarkFoRcE, let's see if he takes that really fast third again as a response to this. That's what he did last game, and he's mining no gas at this point. Just finished Zergling speed, and he does have a drone headed over to the third right now, so I would imagine he's going to grab that third. And wow, look at DarkFoRcE just scanning the entire map with his speedlings, looking for proxy pylons. He has those queued up all over the place. Doesn't want to... Oh my goodness. Oh, wow, missing the one spot. Still hasn't checked it. Oh my goodness, he is going to be so pissed off when that eventually finds its way back through. You know, how could you possibly miss that? And oh my goodness, he just has Lings going everywhere. It's like a giant manhunt. But, you know, they're just running past him over and over and over again. And just now, I think he might see this probe, or is it going to make its way into the natural? There we go. He finds the probe finally. And he must be thinking to himself, how could I have possibly missed that? What is going on? This probe has cloaking devices. Was this a DT probe? What's going on here?
I know, right? I mean, do not hire these Zerglings to be detectives, because they are not very good at scouting out hidden units such as that probe. And as it stands, RSVP sees the third hatchery going down. What a brilliant play by both these players, in fact. RSVP anticipating the third hatchery, and DarkFoRcE anticipating the scouting probe at the third hatchery, and they're both kind of just playing at such a high level of StarCraft 2 that, I mean, every single move is just mind-boggling. And here we have 4 Zerglings, which were able to get a surround on the Zealot, which does mean that they'll be able to take the control of the towers at the mid, and on a map like this, where those towers give almost full vision of the center, it really is quite important to control those watchtowers in order to see impending troop movement. Now, it looks like RSVP is going to be going for Stargate, and hello, DarkFoRcE with a great Overlord scout. He sees the Stargate coming, and he sees the Phoenix.
Yeah, DarkFoRcE with impeccable timing right there on the scout. He's going to be able to kill that Overlord, maybe a few more without a doubt. And going to be able to do some damage here. Not getting that Void Ray out, though. Just he goes with several Phoenix and then goes and tries to do as much damage as he can. Usually, last game, you know, he got a few Queens, but that Void Ray thrown in. And interesting, he has that Sentry out in front of the gateway like that. I wonder if that was just a mistake, messed up the rally there. That's definitely possible. And I'm curious how he's going to get his troops out of there, if he's eventually going to kill that pylon or what. But we do have these Phoenixes coming in trying to kill some Overlords here. It looks like they're just going to go all out on this Overlord and try and kill it, but that Queen will eventually be able to ward them off after this Overlord.
Yeah, DarkFoRcE is just waiting to get the Spore Crawlers up in buying time, and, you know, sacrificing an Overlord here or there in order to save his drone line or his Queens is always a good trade. It looks like he's going to lose a couple of drones in transition, but really, all in all, the damage that DarkFoRcE is suffering here is about equatable to the damage he suffered in Game 1, and he was able to overcome that very easily because he went for the third hatchery and he was able to out-macro RSVP. So I think this time around RSVP is once again, it almost looks like an identical build, as an identical game from the first game, really. Both players going for, well, the Zerg player going for the early third, and RSVP going for the early Phoenixes, and then getting the +1 weapons, which is already finished, and armor on the way. So I think he's going to be making a gateway move out fairly soon once he feels comfortable. Phoenixes here doing some pretty good damage too, man.
Yeah, the Phoenixes are doing some pretty good damage, and I agree with what you said. It's definitely equatable to the damage he took in the first game, but, you know, in order to really put a Zerg back, you have to do quite a bit of damage. Although, in the first game, their supplies were actually much more even. This game, he was actually able to pull ahead. It's 85 to 89 right now. In the previous game, it was...
But the Zerg does have a lot more economy going.
Yeah, he does. He does indeed. He has... a little over 12 more drones right now, and well, you know, RSVP, that's not that bad considering that he is only on 2 base right now, but he is moving out with a pretty decent sized gateway force here, and it looks like he's gonna do some aggressive pressure at the third. He might just outright kill it. There are no units there for DarkFoRcE. DarkFoRcE caught completely off guard here, didn't see this coming, didn't have any scouting information, has virtually no units to deal with this. Some units are gonna be popping out of the hatchery, but he does not have enough, and these Phoenixes are gonna be able to pick off the Hydras that are en route to support, and I just don't think he has enough to stop this.
Unlike game number 1, this time RSVP is using his Phoenixes to intercept reinforcements, and on top of that, because of the way this map is designed, the sentries will be able to block that force field for days. And that means the hatchery will most likely, rather than not, go down. Brilliant play by RSVP, and he actually tried this, like I said, on Xel'Naga Caverns. He tried it at the third, it didn't work out as expected, but this time he hit that window just a few seconds earlier, and he was able to make it count, and there goes the hatchery.
Yeah, there goes the hatchery. The third base is down. DarkFoRcE must be hitting himself in the head over that one. Really had no idea it was coming, didn't prepare for it. You know, morphed a round of units at the very, very last minute. Now has no anti-air, so these Phoenixes are going to be able to get in there, scout everything out, and these force fields are just going to block these roaches. He can pretty much do whatever he wants with them, and there are enough stalkers to easily kill this amount of roaches, and I think RSVP is just going to take the game very quickly right here.
Payne, I have to unfortunately agree with you. I think RSVP is just going to win this due to great timing and a little bit of a blunder, I think, on DarkFoRcE by not anticipating this move out of units. I mean, he saw the gateways with his Overlord, and he was just like, whatever, I don't care. I'm just going to keep droning up.
Yeah, I think he anticipated the push coming a lot later because RSVP did invest in quite a few Phoenixes. You know, he made those 4 Phoenixes. He might have even made 5. So he made all those Phoenixes. That was a pretty big investment, and I think DarkFoRcE was just counting on that push actually coming a lot later, but, you know, much to his dismay. It came at a pretty early time there when he had absolutely no units. And, you know, that's a really risky push by RSVP, but it certainly paid off.
Okay, so in these qualifiers now, we are currently tied 1-1 in this bonus footage. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll have the next game coming out shortly. And if you guys want to check out our current channels, I'm on YouTube, youtube.com/HDStarcraft.
And make sure you check me out at twitter.com/PainUser and youtube.com/StratBunker.
All right, guys, game 3 coming up next.